Hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Galaxy Bar. So, this week we're going to be taking a look at glassware. Ah, I know this sounds boring, but glassware is an integral part of building a cocktail, and it's the second step you should always take before starting to grab booze. This is actually where my obsession started because I saw a pretty piece of glassware and I decided to buy it. And now I have a very profitable hobby. So I'm just going to go through these. These are the main pieces of glassware that you're going to be using. There's a couple other niche ones like sake glasses and things of that nature. But whenever you're home bartending, this, this right here is what you're going to be using. There's variations on all of these, but these are the main ones, and these are the main shapes. Let's start with everyone's favorite. Whenever you think of cocktails, you think of about this shape, a martini glass. This was originally supposed to be a coupe replacement, debuted in 1925 in in a in a I can't remember. It was some expedition, like an art exhibit or something. It was supposed to be a replacement for the coupe. And there's a reason why it's designed like this. So for one, the stem. Whenever you go to grab your cocktail, you're not supposed to hold it like this. No. Or like this. No. Yes, more stable. Yes, don't go splishy splashy. But you want to hold it down here. Because whenever your hand is right here, all the heat from your hands, that life energy, life energy ain't good for booze. So stop. Take your hand off. And gotta wash it now. I got smudges all over the glass. That sucks. Hold it here. It keeps the cocktail colder longer, allowing you a better drinking experience. Also, this wide base, lovely, lovely jubbly for all those aromatics that come into the nose from the gin, the vermouth. Typically, whenever you think of martinis are made with gin, unless you're getting a vodka martini, which, if you're getting a gin martini, I feel bad for you, and wherever you are in life, I wish you the best. I'm sorry. The other reason it's designed like this is for garnishes to stay upright. Things like olives. You get two olives on a toothpick and plop that bad boy down. Ooh, my garnish. It's not going anywhere. It's staying where it's intended. Oh, wow. That means I don't have to worry about my garnish fucking off and going somewhere and dropping on the floor and maybe losing my friend's very valuable metal toothpicks. Don't worry about it. But that's a martini glass. This is a double martini glass, so if you're going to use a double martini glass, you double the volume. Each of these glasswares has a very specific uh, fluid measurement amount, which is the maximum amount of volume that can be comfortably held in each glass. I forget what each one is. I will probably put that on screen at some point during the video. Um, Future me, put it on the screen. Don't be a jackass. There, okay, put you back on. Okay, now back to your regularly scheduled program. And we're gonna move right on. What did I have? written down here. Okay, so the margarita glass. This is iconic. You have seen this. These two are the most iconic cocktail glasses you can imagine. Now, the margarita was originally invented around 38, 42, those span of years down in Mexico and Florida, that Bible Belt, the original sequence of tequila, triple sec, lime, salted rim, things of that nature. So usually they would serve it in a coupe glass or a champagne glass. These two are the predecessor cocktail glasses. What does a margarita glass kind of look like? It looks like you fucked these two things together and made an amalgamation. That's what a margarita glass is. The it gives you the body of the champagne glass and the stem of a champagne glass that allows for a robust experience to keep all the aromatics deep within, as well as a wide rim to allow them to come into the nose. And the other thing is, it's fucking massive. That's why you never see a martini that is served straight up or neat. Uh, Actually, whenever you say neat, it means with no ice. Sorry, nerd talk over. Yeah, that's why you see margaritas that are blended in the blender or served up on the rocks. Oh, the other thing about the margarita glass is it has a very wide rim, wider than the original coupe glass. Why? Why would you do that? One single reason, so that you can give it a salted or sugar rim, so that your cocktail can have an elevated experience. Technically, I could salt any one of these glasses. The margarita glass, though, is going to be a lot easier to salt or sugar. Rim. I'm going to give the margarita a rim job. No, I did not say that incorrectly. This is a threat. Anyways. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm reading my notes. I did homework for this. I dropped out of college for this. Anyways, next class up on the docket. And we can actually talk about, since we've talked about them kind of already, let's talk about the brother and sister. So, on my left, your right, we have the coupe glass. So the coupe glass was originally invented in 1663, credited to a monk named George Ravenscroft in England. The original invention was for sweet wines so that they could be delivered in a manner that they would not splash onto others' clothes during a party. That's the entire reason this was invented. It was also invented, or made, not invented, it was made to sip and enjoy champagne out of. Now, there's a problem with that, and I don't like it for champagne for one simple reason. Champagne goes flat quickly. If you serve it in a coupe glass, it will go flat in about 5 minutes. Champagne is not designed to be chugged. You need to sip it. Oh, also the coupe glass is very good for straight up drinks, such as Manhattans and things of those nature. Again, straight up means no ice, just in there. The champagne flute is the exact opposite of the coupe. Narrow, tunnel, tall. Both of them have the stem glass for the same reason as all of these have stem glasses have stem glasses. The champagne flute was designed to keep fizzy things fizzy for longer. That narrow tunnel kept the bubbles from escaping and all that carbonation from going out the top. It had to stay to the sides for longer, keeping your drink fizzier longer. In my experience, the champagne that I get, I can usually keep my champagne fizzy and full of life for about 30 minutes in a champagne flute. I might also just have shit champagne. That is something that might be happening, but I'm going to err on the side of caution and say I don't. Since we talked about the brother and sister, let's now talk about, I guess I'll use this one. Let's now talk about the cousins. So, we have the highball and the lowball, respectively. The only difference between these two is that the highball is double the amount. They were both made to be able to withstand muddling. They were both made to have ice in them for most of their drinks. They were both made with the intention of keeping fizzy things fizzier. That's why they don't have an entire fucking big ass mouth like the margarita glass, the champagne, or not the champagne flute, the coupe glass, the margarita glass, etc., etc., etc. I believe they were. I have written down they were risen in popularity, the lowball and the highball, in the early 1830s. I don't want to believe that, because I also read an article a couple days ago that said that the lowball has been around for damn near 2 centuries. I'm gonna outsource this one. You guys in the comments, tell me, when was this invented? Because I have written down in my notes it's from the 1830s and it grew to popularity. However, we don't have an exact date. So, tell me which ones. Okay. Let's talk about the oddball in the room. So, this little fucker has a handle on the side. You want to know this little guy's entire existence? He's made for hot cocktails. This is what's known as a hot toddy glass. He is made for, or it's also called an Irish coffee glass. It was in, or they started producing this in 1942 after a couple of tourists wanted something hot to warm them up, and a bartender served them black coffee with whiskey in it. How true this... Oh no, I need to take better notes. I need to take better notes for this show. I forget the name of the bartender. It did happen, and I believe it was at a New York airport. Well, anyways, you can go right there. Let's talk about one from my backyard. So, this is the hurricane glass. So, it was invented in, again, the 1940s, the rise of the cocktail era, being brought back from Prohibition right out of the trenches of World War II, hopping right back into the bars. There was a bar in New Orleans by the name of Pat O'Brien's, who made a cocktail by the name Hurricane for our very stormy weather. For those of you who don't know, I am a Louisiana citizen, lived here my entire life, and I don't plan on leaving. But here's the interesting thing about a hurricane glass. It is extremely versatile. You can serve damn near any drink in this, so long as you have the volume to fill it. You can serve it straight up. You can serve it on the rocks. Hell, you can serve it blended or crushed. And this drink can support it, and it has a rim thick enough to support garnish. It is all around a bartender's favorite thing whenever crafting new cocktails. I cannot tell you how many times that I have been just fucking around, throwing things into my shaker, and what comes out is this amalgam. Are you poking me? That's my collar. Is this amalgamation of red with. Anyways, but if I can't find a glass to pour it in, that is my go to. Because I know how much is in there. I know for a fact that that is a 6.5 ounce glass. Because that's how much I've used it. Anyway, if you've learned nothing, if you're getting started in bartending, get a hurricane glass. One of the most versatile glasses. Just move you to the side. What else is next? So wine glasses. There are nuances to wine glasses as well. Wine is a kind of area, it's a gray area of cocktail mixing because, on one hand, it is alcohol. On the other hand, there's probably a snob from California that's going to tell you to go fuck yourself if I pronounce cabaret wrong. So it's a gray area. Some people say that wine tasting and wine niches are different from cocktail mixing. I say different because I like sangrias. If you have a different opinion, well, you're wrong. These two are different glasses. This is a red wine glass, this is a white wine glass. They simply allow the aromatics in the wine to come to the surface and to the nose and to the palate easier. I know I might sound like I'm repeating the same words a lot. They make sense if you think about it. Certain spirits need to be handled certain ways, or they will not play nicely. For instance, if I put gin in, let's say, a hurricane glass, the gin will assault my nose while I'm trying to drink it. I can still 100% drink it, but my experience, or your experience, would be soured because it was not put in something wide, like a martini glass, a coupe glass, something with a wide rim to allow all of those herbal juniper notes to come through into the nostrils and onto the palate. Okay, so this is the last of the specialty glasses. I know you see those two. We'll get to those in a minute. Good boys. So this is what's known as a snifter. So the snifter came around in popularity in the 1840s. It is used to taste and smell the aromatics and flavors of aged spirits, such as bourbon, whiskey, aged rum, tequila. You can use it with almost anything, and you can get specific aromas and flavors and age of the funk. You can find out so much about one spirit by simply having a small tasting session of it. And that is why this is vital if you want to learn how to find specific notes. There is like 3 things I would pressure. Don't break. You are the 3rd martini glass that I have bought, and I swear to God, if you take nothing from this video, buy these 3 pieces of glass. They will be your most used and best pieces of glassware. These are my go-to when I'm pouring drinks, and this is my go-to whenever I get any new bottle on my bar. Okay. Shot glasses. Shot glasses and double shot glasses are simply measurements. That's the entire reason why they're made like that. So they can be tilted back into the mouth easy, shooting a shot, and because they are 2 ounces. A shot glass, no matter where it is made, will always be 2 ounces with about 3 or 4 milliliters of difference, depending on the factory. Same thing with double shot glasses, except, say it with me, boys and girls, they're double. That's right, you get a cookie. This is a 4-ounce double shot glass. If you don't have a jigger and you have a shot glass, you can find out how much each of these glasses hold. Simply by taking a shot glass, filling it up with water, pouring it in until it is filled, until you can comfortably grab it. Not all the way to the top, because if you fill it all the way to the top, you're going to spill it. Don't be stupid. Come on, use your head. Did I forget anything? Any pieces of glass that need to be talked about? No, I believe we have everything. So, that is all of the glassware. I know, let me put this back in some manner of semblance. So, that was Glassware Explained. Trust me whenever I say that you need to learn this. This is part, or not need. That's, if you want to learn, this is where you start. Because, let's say you're mixing an espresso martini. I know that this can comfortably hold about 9.5 ounces. If I add 3 ounces of Kahlua instead of 2, I'm either going to overfill or I'm going to have some left in my shaker, wasting ingredients. And liquor is not cheap. Yeah, so instead of pouring a quarter of your bottle of Kahlua down the drain, learn to measure your glassware. I had all this written down. You want to know why I don't have it anymore? Because I lost it, and it's just kind of memorized, and I don't have it on the top of my head right now. Editor me will, whenever he goes and looks. Man, editor me hates past me. Trust me. I hate past me. Current me hates past me. Past me is kind of a jackass. Future me is a cunt and is gonna fuck me over down the long road. But yeah. Final thoughts. Buy these 3 because they will be your most useful, And yeah. As for where I got all this, thrift shops. I said it in my last video. Thrift shops. Most of these came from thrift shops, and they were like $1 a pop. Except for this one. This one was like $4.99. Insanely cheap. Especially because if you buy them off of like Amazon, you're paying $30 per glass. It is insanely not worth it. Look, it will save you so much time. And not to mention, thrift shopping is very fun. If you would like to buy your glassware off of Amazon, be my guest. But you're not going to find anything that speaks to your soul. Each one of my pieces speaks to my soul. They are a part of me and a part of my bar forever. Last thing before we go. Next week, we will be getting into liquor. We're going to start with a random spirit, and I think I'm going to let you guys decide. We are either going to start with vodka, whiskey, or rum. I'll let you guys pick, and I will show you a few drinks with each, and their variations, and tips and tricks. And thank you. Thank you for watching. Till next time.